And now to Spain. 9 activists from the BDS movement in Spain are scheduled to testify in a Valencia court today, accused, among other charges, of inciting hatred. The case dates back to 2015 when the BDS group in Spain led a campaign against the famous Jewish-American singer Matisyahu. Here to discuss is the president of ACOM, an anti-BDS group which is taking legal action against the phenomenon in Spain, Ángel Mas. Ángel, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Hi. So for those who are unfamiliar with the case, can you provide a background of what happened in 2015? Because there really wasn't much of a justification for targeting Matisyahu. He's not even Israeli.
Absolutely. This is a very clear, perfect example of BDS not being necessarily only anti-Israel. Is a clear demonstration that it's an anti-Semitic group. Matisyahu was planned to perform in this very famous concert in the Valencia region. He was invited, but there was a very widespread, very well-organized campaign for him to be excluded on the basis of his support to Israel in general and to the IDF, but without any firm points or any firm evidence. He was demanded to be excluded, as I said, and, at the beginning, because of the violence, verbal violence, because of the aggressiveness of the campaign. The organizers decided to disinvite him. Eventually, he was required to denounce the Jewish state in order to perform. The artist rejected that. He thought it was obviously discrimination. Nobody else, other artists from other countries, other regions, other issues, nobody else was demanded to make any kind of declaration, political declaration but him. He rejected that. We got in touch with the organization. Members of the European Parliament got in touch with the organization. There was a large campaign internationally, and as a result of that, he was re-invited to the concert. The BDS groups obviously hated the fact that they were being unsuccessful, and as a result, they organized a very, very vocal, very violent, physically and verbally, to first prevent him from performing, and second, in the middle of the performance, to boycott and sabotage his acting.
So in the end, though, the BDS movement wasn't able to stop him from performing?
They were not able. They did everything they could to stop it, and once he performed, they did everything they could to sabotage the performance. But in the end, his performance was very successful. It was very well covered in the media, and in the public opinion took notice, both nationally and internationally. It was probably the first time that the political and media system mainstream in Spain got to understand the true profile of the BDS movement here in Spain as not only anti-Israel, but as anti-Semitic. And what we have here is a legal case that started then 4 years ago, to bring the organizer, the instigators of this campaign, the 9 leaders of the BDS organization in this particular region in Spain, to court.
So back to today in court, what exactly are they being tried for?
Well, it's an incitement of hatred. That's a crime in Spain. The incitement was not only incitement, it was very violent in its expression, and it was an attempt to curtail the artistic freedom and freedom of speech. So it was coercion, it was intimidation, and all these things are brought to the table because there's no impunity in Spain for this type of behaviors.
And yet BDS, is a widespread phenomenon in Spain. What makes Spain so unique in this regard? Why is BDS flourishing not just on a grassroots level, but we see it also at the municipal level?
Well, what changed was the political support that the BDS movement got from this particular political party called Podemos. Podemos was founded with the support, the financial support of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Venezuelan regime. They have never denied it. And a key part of their agenda is the delegitimization of Israel and the support of the boycott against Israel, and not only Israel, against any Spanish citizens that support the Jewish state. And the way they do it is in the national and municipal and regional institutions where they participate and they control, they promote these boycotts. These boycotts are, as I say, institutional. What that means is that from the state itself, those that support Israel, Israeli citizens, Israeli companies, but as I say, also Israeli Jewish citizens, are boycotted officially, trying to be excluded from political, social, economic, and civic activities in the municipalities, in the regions, in the provinces these people control. This is what makes this movement so aggressive and such an existential threat. And against that, it is that ACOM has launched a good number of legal cases, and we have won so far 37 of them.
So ACOM, why don't you expand a little bit about some of the work that ACOM, your organization, is doing to combat BDS in Spain?
Well, we first of all, we try to inform the political system what these people are really about, what they stand for. They sell themselves as human rights as activists. We unmask them. We explain what they stand for. We are active in traditional and social media with the same means, but when all that fails, we take them to court. We take them, the municipalities or the state institutions that have promoted boycott and approved boycotts against Israeli citizens. We have won a number of cases, and now what we are doing is taking the instigators and the approvers of these boycotts with their personal penal responsibility, with their criminal responsibility to court.
Great. Well, we will continue to keep an eye on this case as it develops. Ángel Mas, thank you so much for joining us to discuss this.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Now to Washington, D.C.